I didn't realize my college fund was gone until a Tuesday afternoon in early June. Not because someone told me, but because my bank app logged me out. At first, I thought it was just another security update. Banks do that sometimes. They make you reset everything. Verify your email, confirm your phone number. Small annoyances that usually take 5 minutes, so I reset my password, logged back in, and waited for the balance to load. For a few seconds, the screen just showed the spinning circle. Then the number appeared .0, not low, not partially withdrawn. Just empty dot at first. I assumed I'd opened the wrong account. My parents had set the college fund up years ago when I was still in middle school. It was technically in their name, but it had always been explained to me as mine, something they were holding safely until tuition started. My mom used to bring it up sometimes at family dinners. "Don't stress about loans," she'd say. "Your father and I already planned for that." So I refreshed the app, still zero. Then I checked the transaction history, and that's when the strange part started. The account hadn't been slowly drained. There was just one large transfer. 3 days. Earlier, $80,000 moved into another account I didn't recognize. For a while, I just stared at the screen. Not angry, not even shocked yet. Just confused. Because families don't usually disappear your future without mentioning it, at least. That's what I assumed. That night, we had dinner together like usual. Nothing fancy. Just the four of us around the kitchen table. My mom, my dad, my older brother Ryan, and me. My parents were in an unusually good mood. My mom had made her celebration pasta, which she usually only cooked when something good had happened. At first I thought maybe it was work-related. My dad had been trying to close a business deal for weeks. Halfway through dinner, I asked casually, "So, did something good happen today?" My mom smiled. "Oh, right, we forgot to tell you." She glanced at my dad like they were sharing a private joke. "We helped your brother." Ryan didn't look up from his plate. My dad leaned back in his chair. "You know that house he's been looking at?" That's when something quiet clicked in my head. Ryan had been trying to buy a house for months. He had the job for it, the salary for it, the credit score. What he didn't have was the down payment. The bank app flashed in my memory again. $80,000. I set my fork down. "You didn't." Slowly, my mom tilted her head. "Didn't? What?" I tried to keep my voice calm. "You didn't take the college fund." There was a short pause. Not panic, not guilt, just mild confusion. Like I'd misunderstood something obvious. My dad shrugged slightly. "Well, technically, it was our account." The room went quiet in a strange way. Not tense, just awkward. Ryan finally looked up. I told him not to make it a big deal. He said, like he was trying to help out, my mom waved her hand dismissively. "You'll figure school out. Lots of people do loans." Then she added something that stuck with me longer than anything else. And Ryan needed it now. It was said very gently, very reasonably. Like that settled the math. For the rest of dinner, nobody argued, nobody raised their voice. We just kept eating. My dad talked about interest rates. My mom talked about the neighborhood Ryan's house would be in. Ryan said the commute would be shorter. Every once in a while, someone would glance at me like they were waiting for a reaction. But I didn't give them one. I just listened. There's a strange moment when you realize something important about the people you've known your whole life. Not because they confess anything, but because they assume you'll accept something quietly, automatically, like it was always meant to work that way. That night, sat at my desk and reopened the bank app. The transaction was still there, clean. Final $80,000 transferred to my parents' main account. From there, I could guess where it went. For a while, I just stared at it. Then I closed the app and went to bed. Over the next week, the house purchase became the main topic of conversation. Ryan started bringing brochures. Home photos of kitchens, backyards, paint colors. My mom loved talking about it. "Your brother finally has a place of his own," she kept saying proudly. Every once in a while, she'd add something softer in my direction. You'll land on your feet. My dad offered practical advice. Community college is a good start. Ryan mostly stayed quiet. Not guilty exactly, just careful. Like he knew the situation wasn't great, but it also wasn't something he planned to fix. The closing date for the house was scheduled 2 weeks later to celebrate. My parents planned a small gathering. Nothing big, just close family. And a few neighbors. They wanted to announce the house officially. Ryan invited a few of his friends. My mom bought champagne. The whole thing had the energy of a graduation party. Except the person graduating wasn't me. On the afternoon of the party, I was sitting on the porch when Ryan came outside. He stood there for a moment, leaning against the railing. "You're being really chill about all this," he said. I shrugged. "What am I supposed to do?" He nodded slowly. "I know it wasn't fair." That was the first time anyone had said that word. Fair, but he didn't elaborate. After a moment, he added quietly, "I'll figure something out eventually." Eventually is a very flexible timeline. That evening, a house filled with people, laughter, music, plastic cups. My mom moved around the kitchen, like a host at a wedding. My dad kept refilling drinks. Ryan stood in the middle of the living room telling everyone about the house, the backyard, the garage, the perfect timing of the purchase. Every once in a while, someone would say something like, "Your parents must be proud." And they were very proud. Around 9 o'clock, my dad tapped his glass with a fork. The room slowly quieted. He wrapped an arm around Ryan's shoulder. "I just want to say something," he began. He talked about hard work, about family support, about how proud they were to help. Ryan reached the next stage of life. People. Nodded, smiled, clapped. Then my mom added something that made a few people glance toward me. Sometimes families have to make sacrifices for each other. Well, was meant to sound noble, generous, but the way she said it made it clear. Who the sacrifice had been, Ryan shifted slightly beside them. I watched him carefully, because something in his expression had changed. Not anger, more like hesitation. Then my dad raised his glass to Ryan's new home. Everyone lifted their drinks, and that's when Ryan did something unexpected. He didn't raise his glass. Instead, looked around the room slowly, at the neighbors, at his friends, at our relatives. Then he cleared his throat. "Actually," he said. The room quieted again. "There's something else people should know." My mom frowned slightly. Ryan spoke calmly, not emotional, just direct. "My parents didn't really help me buy the house." My dad laughed awkwardly. "Of course we did." Ryan shook his head. "No, they took Ethan's college fund." For a moment, nobody reacted. It took a second for this sentence to fully land. Then the room shifted. Small glances, quiet whispers. Someone near the kitchen said softly, "Wait." "What?" My mom's smile froze. "That's not how it." Ryan continued anyway. "It was $80,000. Now people were definitely listening. My dad stepped forward slightly. "Ryan, this isn't the time," but Ryan kept talking. "I told them not to do it." That part surprised me. "I said it wasn't right," he added. My parents looked stunned. Not angry yet, just exposed. Ryan finally raised his glass. "But I guess, technically, it's my house now." He took a sip. The silence that followed was heavy. Not explosive, just uncomfortable in a way that made everyone suddenly aware of where they were standing. My mom tried to recover the moment. "Oh, goodness." She laughed nervously. "He's exaggerating." But the mood had already shifted. Conversations restarted in smaller groups, quieter ones. A few people looked at me with expressions that were difficult to read. Not pity exactly, more like realization. The party ended earlier than planned. By 11, most of the guests had left. My parents cleaned the kitchen in near silence. Ryan went upstairs. Nobody mentioned the speech again. Over the next few weeks, things felt different. Not dramatic, just quieter. My mom stopped talking about sacrifices. My dad avoided conversations about college entirely. Ryan moved into his house. Sometimes I drive past it on the way to work. It's nice. Big windows, clean driveway, good. Neighborhood, he did eventually start sending me money. Not the full amount yet, but enough that I know he meant what he said that night. And sometimes, think about that moment during the toast, the way the room changed when the truth was spoken out loud. People imagine revenge as something. Loud arguments, ultimatums, doors slamming. But that wasn't what happened here. I didn't confront anyone. I didn't expose anything. I just sat in the room while my family celebrated something built on a quiet assumption. And then someone else said the one sentence that turned the lights on. Sometimes that's all it takes. Not a fight, just the truth. Said in the right room, at the right time, in front of the right people. And suddenly, everyone understands exactly what happened.